we got to.
Let's start from where we got left off, and let's see if everyone is there. They are all there still. So
Thanks for holding on.
terrible, terrible.
Okay.
It's okay. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. So let's see if we're live. Yes, we're live again. Oh, stress, stress. Oké, jongens, we zijn er weer. En wil je eventjes aangeven of we nu weer terug zijn voor jou? Ik ben heel erg benieuwd of jullie ons weer kunnen horen en zien. Now we have to wait for some responses from the audience.
Yeah.
So let's wait a little bit. Okay. Oh, it's always terrible. It's it's always live, and then technical stuff goes down. It's terrible. So let's see if they are there. Dus eventjes je scherm versen. Als het goed is, zijn we er weer, jongens. En laat even weten. Laat even weten of... Oké, fijn. Dus we zijn er weer. Oh, wat fijn, jongens. Oké, we're up. They are up. So we can start. So we can continue where we left up. So you were singing in a school choir. You saw
Yes.
a name. I think Jens Johansson. Something like that, and you mentioned something about Maline's children choir.
Yes. Then when I was a teenager, I was singing in Maline's Richtrop's girls' choir, and she was mentioning Vocal Line, the choir where she was singing in at the moment, many times during rehearsals, and also invited us to come to a concert with Vocal Line. And when I heard Vocal Line the first time, I was just blown away, and I kind of decided that it didn't really make sense for me to sing in a choir anymore, because I thought they were so good that everything else was just like a pale shadow. And I so wanted to be part of Vocal Line, but at that point I was still too young myself. So there were some years where I didn't really sing in choirs. And then when I was 21, I think, I started at musicology at the university. And the same day I started there, I was at the Vocal Line audition. And I clearly remember being out on the grass in front of the university and playing this beer game with these glasses on my eyes, you know, these plastic glasses, and there was a hole in each one of them, and you cannot really see anything. But out of one eye, I could just see Jens Johansson walk over the grass, getting ready for the audition, and me looking totally ridiculous. And I was thinking, no, now I will never get in the choir. I'm running around here with plastic on my eyes and they're looking ridiculous. Don't have a chance. But apparently, well, he gave me the chance, and I've been in Vocal Line ever since.
Yeah.
This is the short story of how I got into the team.
Very cool, very cool. So that's how you got into the choral world in general, and via Vocal Line, it started for you. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, and can you tell us about the choral world in Denmark? How is the choral environment in Denmark? We know about the choral world here in Holland, but I think it's interesting to hear what it's like in Denmark.
In Denmark, the scene is very diverse. there is a big tradition for classical choir singing, and also a tradition for pop choir singing. We have school choirs and church choirs, like I guess you have many other places, and also there are many gospel choirs in Denmark, and a few choirs or groups that work with jazz. But what I think what is special about the Danish choral scene is the a cappella choir tradition, a cappella choir singing pop music. Some of it being very entertaining, but some of it also being more about lyrics and storytelling.
So okay, nice. Okay, and you mentioned pop music, and jazz music, but in Denmark, and I think in Sweden and Norway, they have a different word for that kind of music. Rhythmical music.
Yeah. Okay. We call it rhythmical music, but it's just most people outside Denmark, Norway, and Sweden don't really know what we mean when we say rhythmical music, because
Yeah. But can you explain why you call it?
Yeah. Well, we call it rhythmical music. That's a term that is basically everything that is not classical.
And why then the term music? Because in classical music there is also rhythms. So
yeah. Well, you can ask Bernhard Christensen if he was still alive. I think he is the man who invented the term rhythmical music. My guess is that he means some music that is groove based,
with a pulse involved, a steady pulse.
Steady pulse, and also where there could be ostinatos, could be a groove going on, a steady pulse.
That makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, in Holland we call it light music, so it does not make sense at all. Classical music, light music, it's strange. Okay, well, let's go on with your group, Posture Project. How do you pronounce it correctly?
Posture.
Posture. Okay. Wow. Okay. Hey, how was this group founded?
It was founded because Line and Christopher, Andreas, and I were all singing together in vocal line. We've been doing that for a couple of years, maybe 4 years or something like that, and we were all arranging and writing, composing music, and we had all been singing in different other bands, and we were very, very close friends, and we often talked about what we liked about music. And well, if I only speak on my own behalf, then I love vocal music, but maybe not always for more than 30 minutes, because then I think that sometimes it happens to me that my ears are kind of, they get tired because it's so beautiful. It's so soft and it's so beautiful. And it just keeps on being soft and beautiful. Roughly said, very, yeah. And on the other hand, I also love electronic music, but mostly like for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, because then I really love it, but then my ears start to bleed because it's a bit too edgy and a bit too hard. And then we were thinking about, wouldn't it be possible to combine those two soundscapes, that we have something really beautiful and we pair it with something a bit rough, that we have contrast. Then we were also talking a lot about how come so many good a cappella groups are singing cover music. Why don't more people write their own music? And we decided, well, we'll try and go for it. We'll try to compose music that is written for, not for guitars and for a band, but written for voices, because voices are probably the instrument in the world that has the most nuances. There are so many colors and so many, I mean, also each voice is totally different from another voice. So why don't we try to explore what those voices can do and then pair it with machines, what they can do. And so this is also why we named the group Pustyr, because Pustyr is Danish and means to stir things around or stir things up, make a fuss about it, not a big riot or, you know, revolution, just a little something, you know, just a little something. Yeah. So it's a stir things up project.
Okay, cool. And how you told about you write your own music. Can you tell a little bit about the process you use for writing your own arrangements and music? Because let's tell that. Yeah, I think 2 years ago at the Aarhus Festival, 2013, I attended a workshop from you guys. And you told about your workflow and how it works, and it's very interesting to know, because it's not always a traditional arranging from most arrangers, so it differs. So can you tell something about that, maybe?
Yes, I think, well, first I should say that after the four of us wanted to start Pustyr, then we asked a fifth member to join, Christian Steen, who also sang in vocal line at that time. So we were from the beginning a quintet. But arranging, how do we arrange? How do we compose? I don't think we have a recipe for it yet. It's still, you know, laboratory experimental work. And we are also very different. Mostly when I compose alone. It's mostly like this. I'm almost going to sleep, and then right before I sleep, there comes a bird, or, you know, I have an idea, and then I get up and I record it on my phone, and then the next day I start working with it, sitting on, sometimes just walking around, singing, and sometimes by the piano, but mostly I work without piano. I just sing, and mostly for me, the words come at the same time as the melody. It's not ooh, 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 ooh. No, it's go, 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 and him, and maybe one word is missing, but it's kind of coming at the same time. And then sometimes the whole lyrics are not coming, then I have to sit and work some hours with getting the rest of it done. And mostly for me, the parts of the arrangements also come while composing, that I hear it as, yeah, it's a process that happens more or less at the same time in my head. And then it's more a matter of writing it down and then adding things. And I work a lot in Sibelius. Mm-hmm. This way I can hear, get my ideas out of my head and then hear them, and then I hear new things. Christopher, he works a lot with co-writing, that he has parts of music, and then he sits down with someone, and they are someone in the group, and then they work together on songs. Anders does also more or less the same. He's recording a lot, that he's recording his sketches, so that when he presents a new song, then maybe it's not finished, but he can actually play the song for us. And so. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Okay, so it's a little bit of a mix between the use of music notation software and recording and experimenting with co-writers and just let it grow in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that's a nice way, I think, of creating.
Yeah. Can I add something? Because something we don't do is actually to jam.
No jamming.
Never jam. It's not that we don't want to jam. It just, I cannot think about a single time it ever happened that we would jam.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know. I think I don't know why it is. I think maybe something that is also going on in our group is that we are all very efficient people. We like efficiency, and we also like perfection. So when we have an idea, we kind of just go for it and start working on it. And I mean, even though we are together almost every day, then most of the time we are, not together. So when the idea is there, then we start working on it. And so we jam with ourselves, and then we come, and then there is already something. Also, what I like is, what's important to me, or is getting more and more important to me, are lyrics. And I think sometimes when you jam, then you tend to write music that is staying in the same 1 chord, 2 chord, 4 chords. And so it's very ostinato based, and maybe the subject you would then jam about is not, I don't know, it's a different kind of song you get from doing that.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you do it, it's not. But yeah, it's just a funny thing, because I've heard so many other groups say, and then we jam, and we never do that for some reason. Maybe we should.
Well, nice. Well, fun. Yeah, it's funny. Okay. Okay. Just a little bit about the technical stuff you use for performing, because there's I have spoken. You were in Holland before for concerts, and I've spoken to the audience, the unknown audience, the audience that does not know the group and the way of working, and they see you perform and think, oh, it's all pre-recorded. It's all pre-recorded, and well, it's not live, or it's not a cappella, or yeah, well, okay, it's not all a cappella, of course, but sometimes you use some instruments. I think, well, I can remember a song with a guitar, for instance, so it's not a cappella per se. But maybe it's good to explain how it works for you guys when you use the computers and all the technical stuff, because it's actually all live. When something is going wrong, it's going really wrong for you guys.
Yeah, it is. Well, first of all, I can say that what's important to me about our Posture project is that it's music. It's not so important to me how we make the music. What's important to me is that we are making music. When I go to a concert with anyone else, any pop act, what's important to me is the concert experience, and not so much if all the drums I hear is played by a drummer, if it's played by a percussionist, if his conga is actually a conga from Cuba, or if it's a real authentic conga, or if it's just whatever, For me, it's the whole that is the goal. What we do in Posture is that we have 5 singers, and then we have a computer, and all our 5 microphones are going into the computer before they go down to the sound engineer. And so in the computer, we can pre-program the computer to put a delay on one of the voices or on all of the voices. This is what the sound guy sometimes also does in a normal concert, but we can just make sure that it's right there at this exact tone we want it to be, because we can program it in the computer. Then we can also tell the computer to record one of the voices while we sing. And this means that it can record 4 bars, 12 bars, or only a quarter note of what at a certain one of the singers are singing. And then it can save it for later, and then replay it at some given point. We can also tell the computer to record the tone and then to change the tone. So instead of replaying it exactly as it was, then to play it an octave higher, an octave lower, a fifth higher or lower, and so on and so on. And yeah, and we can tell it to chop it up in a funny rhythm, or we can tell it to, I don't know, there are actually endless possibilities. And this opens up a whole new set of questions when you have all those possibilities, that maybe there are things you can do, but maybe there are also things you don't want to do. Maybe there are things that you never thought would be possible to do with a human voice, because you cannot maybe sing. There's a limit to how fast you can sing an arpeggio. But with the help of a computer, you are limitless. Then you could say, why don't you just play it on a piano? And I could say, well, we could also do that, except we're not pianists. We are singers and electronic musicians, and our instrument is the voice and the computer, and therefore we choose to make this arpeggio using the voice and the computer. Then you can say, well, it doesn't even sound like a voice anymore. Well, it doesn't bother me, because it sounds exactly like it sounds in my head.
Yeah, it's a very cool effect. I heard it, and it's so cool to hear the it's so nice.
And, I mean, you can make it sound like you can make the computer process whatever you put into it, like, so it sounds like almost anything. But what I like in particular is when you can still hear that it's a voice, but that you can hear that there is not an attack and not a phrasing at the end, that you only get the middle of the tone. Because this is something that makes it sound human, and at the same time not human, not like any instrument, that you're kind of playing on voice. And this is for me a whole new sound that I like. And maybe some people will say it doesn't sound like a voice, and I say, well, does it matter? And that's the question. And and I'm also, it's fine for me if people say, well, I expected a voice, so I'm disappointed. Then well, okay. I just hope that after the disappointment is maybe faded away, that it can also that they can be curious and hopefully appreciate the overall impact of the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was a very cool workshop 2 years ago, and I enjoyed it. And I hear a lot of it back here in the words, and it's new for me. Still, it's a new thing I hear over and over again when you're on stage with a group. And to be honest, I don't know what to think about it yet. So I'm still processing some opinions, and maybe I don't need to have an opinion. Just listen to it and see if I like it or not. But that's a taste question. I think it's very personal. Yeah.
Yes.
I really like the way of working and how it works, and that appeals to me.
Well, I'm glad it does. I can say from the first album we did, in the first years of Posture was kind of an anti-project. You know, it was a project where we were kind of defined as being in opposition to other things. We are not entertained. We don't want to have any fun songs. We don't want to have any of these kind of songs. We don't want to have any choreography. We don't. And that was a part of our teenage process as a group, I think, defining ourselves. But what I like about this new album that is almost finished now is that I feel that we are becoming, we are starting to realize what it is we want to do. Not only what we don't want to do, but also what we want to do. And I really look forward to presenting the new songs to people, because I think they are really good songs. And then I hope that now that the songs are even stronger than before, then I hope that the frame around it, the how we do it, will fade more in the background, and that it will be more a matter of, do I like these songs? Does this music appeal to me? Yes or no? And then afterwards you ask yourself, oh, and how are they doing it, right? Interesting. So I hope that it can, yeah, I hope that people will open their ears and hearts for the songs and then stay curious about how we do it.
Yeah, sure. That's a cool thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, since this is a webinar for conductors, maybe it's nice to talk a little bit about conducting. And you're a conductor too.
Mm-hmm.
You work with a choir. I heard them. It's called Lute,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yes.
I think it's okay. Well, my Danish is getting better and better. um, but how long do you conduct or lead the group?
I've conducted them for 2 years now.
2 years. Okay, cool. And what for you is the most important thing with when it comes to working with a choir?
It is that I want to make the singers feel like they're singing. I want to make them sing, not only imitate sounds or be an instrument, be a means for me to express the music I want to express. No, I want them to commit to the music and identify themselves as singers. This is what I want, because so you can say I want them to feel the music go through them. I had a teacher once. He said, the song is like the lamp. It's like the light bulb, the light, and the singer is like the lampshade that's surrounding the light.
Mm-hmm.
And in the light, we have all kinds of colors, blue and red and white and yellow and all those colors. But without the lampshade, you cannot really see the colors. It's just white light. And we need for the light to go through the filter, through the lampshade, or we need for the song to go through a singer to actually see nuances. And this is what I want to, this experience of having music go through you and also take a little color from you is what I want.
A very nice metaphor. Okay, it's clear. Thank you for this nice insight. It's very nice hearing you talk about the personalities in a choir and well, get to show them their true colors. um, when you start working at a rehearsal with your group, what are the things you want to do first? Is there for you? Is there there are some exercises you mostly do, or
yes. Well, I have many things I want to do, but it's for me it's always about the why.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about why are we here? Why are we singing this song and not any other song? Why are we doing this exercise? That I want people to understand why we're doing it, and also to also agree that it's important. So why are we gathered? In Lute, why are we gathered? We are gathered because we all love to sing a particular kind of song, particular kind of repertoire where the songs are, songs that stay with you, songs that gets under your skin. Happy songs, sad songs, doesn't matter, but songs that somehow stay with you. And we also gather because we like to sing together. We believe that each individual voice is important, and that when we sing together, we can achieve something that is even bigger. than the sum of each individual voice. And so what we do every time we meet is that we start with an icebreaker, because we want to establish some common ground. We want to establish trust and the feeling of togetherness, because we believe that this is the space, the workspace you need, or the foundation for being able to let anything get under your skin. And you need to be safe.
Mhm.
And then we work on different musical parameters, because if I want people to really shape the music, then they also need tools, so they can actively shape the music. And so I try to have like then in 1 month or in one period of time, we are focusing on groove, and then we are focusing on vocal technique, and then we are focusing on intonation, blending in. At the moment, we're focusing on phrasing. But in the warm-up, we always also work on posture and breathing, and we always touch upon different things. We always touch upon, and then there is kind of a theme. So they get skills. And then we work on the repertoire. But when we start a new piece, I would always start with the why are we singing this particular song.
Yeah, clear. Wow. And when you want to, well, maybe it's nice to maybe, if you like to do that, maybe it's nice to lift out one icebreaker you like to do when you want to have some focus, or you want to have some togetherness.
Yes. Well, there could be many.
I know.
Many, but one I really like, that I'm also planning on doing in September, when we meet in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
is the marionette puppets exercise, where you go together 2 and 2, and you stand next to your partner, holding his shoulder, putting your arms around his shoulder. Then you're melted together like one person. Then the conductor or the leader of the game is then showing different movements that the partners should do together, only, not having 4 hands, but no, 2 hands. And what I like about this exercise is that you are getting very close to each other, physically close to each other, touching each other. This means that you are actually in each other's private sphere. And you have to work together. You look pretty ridiculous, meaning that you also cross that border of not being really cool or in control. But you do it in the frame of the game, where there are other rules that doesn't apply to normal life. So in this safe zone of the game, you are actually going, you are behaving differently than you normally would. And most people laugh. And they also, because in the beginning, it's actually quite difficult to do the task, but during the game, you get better and better. And this gives you a little feeling of success. And we can even work on musical parameters like pulse, or we can end the game by singing a song or making a body percussion move together, only using 2 feet, two hands, and so on. So I like this. I call them Kinder egg exercises. I don't know if you have the Kinder egg in
The surprise eggs of chocolate with the surprise.
Yes, in Germany it's Überraschungseier.
Okay.
Those surprise eggs, because in the Danish commercial they always say it's 3 things in one plus a surprise. And I like those exercises where you can work on many different things at the same time.
Okay, cool. En just voor de listeners, als jullie vragen hebben, dan stel ze gewoon tussendoor. Dan kunnen we daar wat meer over uitweiden. Okay, well, I told them just to give their questions, ask their questions if they have some. Okay, when well, I have a platform on Facebook, a Dutch platform for conductors, and some of the questions are there. The frequent questions, there are some about rehearsal technique, how to start with a new piece.
Yeah.
For instance,
Yeah.
because it's an item. In Holland, we have some choirs prepare, some choirs don't prepare. Some choirs should prepare because they agreed upon that, but don't. Some of the members don't do that. So that's my question is about how do you start a new song? What
Yeah.
kind of rehearsal techniques do you use?
Well, it depends on the situation. I don't have like one way. I always do it. One way could be for me to say, I heard this great song, and the lyrics just really struck me. Like in Lut, we had made an arrangement of a song called Lennon. It means the country, and and when I heard the song, I just loved it, and I felt this is something I want to do because I feel it captures why we're singing in this choir together, because we want to move closer together, and we believe that when we are together, we can do better. And then I would say something about why I picked the song, and maybe if they didn't know the song, maybe I would sing the verse and the chorus for them. If they know the song a little bit, then I would say let's sing it together. Everyone sing the melody of the first verse and the chorus together. Then I would probably work on the chorus, maybe the second chorus, where there are more full arrangement, and then we work on that, and then afterwards moving backwards through the arrangement, because I like it that we've learned the chorus. Then when we go a bit back and we sing more through, then we come to a point where we already know the sheet music, and this is kind of a good success feeling. It could also be that I would already start introducing the song in the warm-up, doing something with some of the chords. If there would be something that would be particularly difficult in the song, then simplifying it and somehow making an exercise out of it in the beginning, singing arpeggios or something with sound, working with sound colors in different ways, and yeah. So this could also be a way.
Yeah, cool. Okay, nice. Thank you. Okay, let's get to the end of this interview, because it's almost 4, and well, you have a life, I guess. So I have a life. We all have a life to go back to after this interview. So I just have one question. If there's one tip you can give to a conductor, what should be that one tip? It could be about handling a choir socially, or warm-up tip when you have just 5 minutes or something, or what is one thing you can mention?
Well, I'm thinking every time as a teacher, sometimes you're faced with people where you don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. Why didn't they rehearse, even though we promised each other we would do it? Or why, you don't understand it. And what comes to mind to me is, well, people only do things that make sense to them. There's always a reason why they do it. And your job as a teacher is, I think, to understand what is then, what the reason is and how you can help people in that situation. I mean, if people don't practice and they joined the choir for a reason, so how come that they clearly want to sing, but somehow they don't do it? Then I think that's a very interesting situation. It makes me so curious. Mm-hmm. What is it I can do to give that stepping stone that can actually help them to do what it is they want to do? So I think, in short, listen and be curious, and find the stepping stone. Try to find the stepping stone.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, you mentioned already you're on the Choral Conductors event in September here in Holland, and I switch a little bit to Dutch now. I'm sorry, but I have, by the way, I have a question here already. We get to that. Maar als je ook bij het Conductors Event wil zijn, waar Tine en de rest van het postuur ook is, en workshops gaan geven aan jou als dirigent, dan heb ik, dat komt hier onderaan de video een link tevoorschijn. Dan kun je op klikken en dan kom je op de pagina van het event. Het is mogelijk om 1 dag te komen. Postuur is er 1 dag en de volgende dag hebben we meer workshops voor je. Maar het is mogelijk om 1 dag te komen, maar het kunnen ook gewoon 2 dagen komen natuurlijk. Heel gezellig. Dus geef je vooral ook op wanneer je daar belang bij hebt. Wat een fantastisch weekend. En nou ja, goed, Tine is er ook. En je kunt heel veel van haar leren. Het is fantastisch wat ze allemaal in huis heeft. Oké. Are you ready for a question? Yeah, okay. Well, it's not a very hard question, and maybe it's no. Well, let's do this. Bianca is listening, and she says, "I like very much how Tine." Oh, I'm thinking there's an autocorrection here. I like very much how Tine talks about music, voice in reactionary to electronics. Can we listen to an example?
Yes, we could. How can I play it on my computer and then you can hear it?
No, I think that won't work. It's
okay. Well, then we just have a new single out that you can get on iTunes. It's called Up for Air, and in this song you can hear the arpeggios among other things, and everything you hear is a voice except from the beat that is a computer beat, because it's a computer beat. We like it. Yeah, but all the rest is voice. And actually in the beat there are even some human sounds, I think, because we recorded. It's a combination of beatbox and computer beats. So go to iTunes and get Up for Air.
Up for Air. It's a really nice song, and it's very cool when you know how it's arranged, because Christopher was at in Aalborg, I think in the second weekend of this semester, and at the weekends for the choral conducting courses, and he explained how it worked, how it worked. Like I think you're the only singer in the start of the song, and you have to.
I sing 2 tones, and out of those 2 tones, the whole computer generates. Yeah, much more. So cool. And then if I change the vowel, if I change my pitch or anything, then the whole thing changes. And if I only change the vowel, then everything will be fine. But if I change the pitch, then the computer will also change the pitches of the whole arpeggio, and then it will maybe be a mess. So it's not as if it's easier to sing a cappella with a computer. I would say it's just one more challenge, because the computer is merciless.
Yes, I experienced it myself, because Christopher let us sing a small piece, and it's like you sing one note, and after that, the second bar, that one note is copied, so you hear it, but you have to sing a second note, and after that, there's a third note comes in, etc. And it's building up this massive chorus, because you start 5 voice, and it's 10 voice, it's 15 voice, it's 20 voice. It's so ridiculous, so cool. It's so hard, because when you miss it, you really miss it.
And it just stays there, and it just goes on and on, smashing the mistake, grinding themselves again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember you had the same thing in 2013 Oud Festival. It was
Yeah, it was my future self. I think I'll
yes,
never forget it. Yes.
but we can all laugh about it. So it was
I mean, sometimes it's even nice, then we prove that it's not playback.
yes,
Right? And it's clear for everybody, no one would make anything playback that would sound so bad. Then it's human after all.
yeah. It's and that's nice that we can hear that once in a while. Okay. Well, if there are no questions anymore of the listeners, then we can put an end to this conversation. Wait a minute. There's one question coming in from Angelique, and she has a question about children and teens.
Yes.
And what are the must-do workshop and courses to get a great base for teaching our intelligent and organic way of children and teens? She's, I think she's a little bit into the intelligent choir methods and the organic choir methods.
Well, I think what you can do in Aalborg at the Royal Academy of Music there is great for anyone who wants to work with rhythmical choir music, and I think those methods can also be applied to teens. So I could definitely recommend that. I'm not sure I have a name for something else you can do. I think Tine Sørensen, who is the leader of Maja Fjord Girls Choir, if there is any chance of going to a workshop with her, I think you will be very inspired by what she has to say.
Yes, she has some very nice things. I went to the workshop, and it was so cool. The way she worked with those kids. That's great. So, and Angelique, I can give you the name of the person we are talking about, and also the group she is leading. It's a great group. Okay, well, I think that's it for now, Tine. Thank you very much for this for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And for your input and expertise, and thank you so very much. And well, we see each other in September.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Very much.
It's going to be great. So I will close the interview in Dutch, and thank you. Ik wil ook iedereen bedanken voor het bijzijn, dat het toch nog gelukt is, ondanks de technische mankementen, maar het is toch goed gegaan verder. Een herhaling gaat online staan, dus heb je niet alles meegekregen, dan kun je dat gewoon terugkijken. Verder, kijk nog even op de site voor het event, het Choral Conductors Event, want het wordt een fantastische twee fantastische dagen. Dus ik hoop je daar te zien in september. En voor nu heel erg bedankt voor het kijken en luisteren. En tot de volgende keer.